So fire in Epcot.
Yeah, there was fire. I mean, there's a black plume of smoke, which the entire Disney fan universe was going nuts about, other than the whole Ohana thing, which is
maybe they anointed a new CEO.
Yeah, maybe that's what it. Yeah, they got a new
could've been
CEO.
it.
That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
Josh Tomorrow left, or maybe they got a new CEO or something. I don't know.
His hair products caught on fire.
His hair products caught on fire. That's exactly what it was. People are trying to figure out why the heck it was on fire.
Hey, it's Alan Tudyk. You are listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel.
Jumbo, everyone.
Harambe.
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana. And on this show, we invite you to feel the libations.
Feel it, feel it.
We are artistic buffs and not artistic cream puffs. This is a show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us. In this episode, we respond to all of our listener emails, text messages, DMs, all that stuff. We finally got around to it. We're responding to you guys. It's going to be awesome. And look, this isn't your typical polished practice pixie dust and Disney podcast. No way. We are not in Disney Springs every day, letting you know that Summer House on the Lake is now serving grab-and-go breakfast.
That's right, Kev. We're just here to drink and talk some Disney and tell you how Iron Man and Mater may have more in common than you think.
And you listeners have the easy part. All you guys and girls have to do is to listen up to what we think up while we drink up.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And Rachel is out today, but despite that, you can still book any vacation with her, which is one of the easiest ways to support us. Also, you can leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts and or wherever you access our show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode of the Magic Our Way podcast. And as always, we want to thank our loyal Patreon supporters for all that they do for us. But before we get into it, got a couple of things I just want to jibber-jab about.
What's that?
They had a fire in Epcot, apparently.
Oh, is everybody all right?
Fire!
Fire!
That pavilion's on fire.
Fire, that's right.
Oh, Lord.
It's like Bill Cosby, the dentist. Fire!
Fire.
Smoke! Whatever.
Coming out
It
my
is
mouth.
totally not like Bill Cosby in any way, shape, or form. Magic Our Way podcast has no...
Yes, Disney's more consensual.
It's just like the fire, like the dragon, the time the dragon exploded, the parade.
No, not that kind of thing. People are seeing plumes of black smoke behind the France Pavilion in Epcot.
So somebody was getting high.
Or there was a new pope.
I think, yes. They haven't made a decision yet. That's why it was black.
Oh, my
Whatever.
God.
Yeah, it's not white smoke.
Darn it.
So
What?
yeah. That's a deep joke because the Pope used to live in Paris during those times before they moved back to Rome and
Yeah.
that whole business.
Oh, man.
If you're down with Catholic history, what up?
What?
Anyway, sorry.
That was
That was a
CPP.
deep joke.
That
I
was
did
a
not
deep
realize
joke.
how deep that was.
Way
It was
deep.
big time, yeah.
Deep
The
joking.
seat of the Catholic universe was in Paris at one point.
So fire in
France.
Epcot.
Yeah, there was fire. I mean, there's a black plume of smoke, which the entire Disney fan universe was going nuts about, other than the whole Ohana thing, which is
Maybe they anointed a new CEO.
yeah, maybe that's what it. Yeah, they got a new
could've been
CEO.
it.
That's right. Yeah,
Yes.
Josh Tomorrow left, or maybe they got a new CEO or something. I don't know.
His hair products caught on fire.
His hair products caught on fire. That's exactly what it was. People are trying to figure out why the heck it was on fire. It was a hair product.
That will do it.
Soul Glow wouldn't have done that. If he
No,
used that.
No,
That's
no.
right.
That's natural juices and berries, Josh.
Yeah, but apparently a lot of the news outlets are saying that it was like a walk-in cooler is what Disney was saying that caught on fire
Oh, okay.
in the backstage area. So nobody was affected. The ride was evacuated for a short amount of time, but nobody was hurt. Nobody got injured.
All the fish and chips were just burnt up.
But forget about getting a crepe. There's no crepes at the
No
crepe
crepes,
place.
no fish
nothing.
and chips, no nothing.
Nothing. Yes.
No.
That's crazy. So a cooler got caught on fire.
Yes.
Yep.
You hear that? Cooler.
Mhm.
A cooler got on fire.
Got off. How did not
To
put
make
itself
things
out?
cool, you got to remove the heat.
But how did not put itself out?
I don't know.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
That is
when things are cold, it's very dry.
You can't just turn. You can't turn it on the door and then open the door and then all the cool air. I don't know.
That's when you get backdraft.
Oh boy,
And
it
then Kurt
worked.
Russell's not happy.
It worked it under siege, but then he, used the microwave as a detonator. So hopefully none of that happened.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Well, I'm glad no one got hurt.
Yeah, nobody got hurt,
That's
but a lot of
crazy.
people reported it in the Disney fan universe, and
Oh,
they're freaking
man.
out because it was a thick. To be fair, it was a thick plume of smoke.
Okay.
Well,
It
on
was
the
huge.
Skyway, that had to be like, whoa.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh no! Somebody hold Patton on fire.
Wait. We're going to the wrong place. This place is burning up.
Why is this thing not stopping? I'm going right to it.
Yeah, I felt bad for you if you had fast pass to Remy that day.
Oh no!
I know. Yeah, it was tough. But
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. That a big fire broke out.
Oh,
you know, you
man,
just don't
yeah.
see that every day.
No,
No.
you don't. No, not somewhere like that.
And the other thing I want to talk about real quick, I thought this was kind of interesting because this kind of had me tweaked. Not tweaked, but like interested.
Triggered.
Triggered, yes. Yeah, the Swan and Dolphin, which is always a place I've been wanting to stay because they just look like really cool hotels and got those heavenly beds or whatever else. But they're getting what looks to me to be like a mini Splitsville.
Okay.
Like if you know Splitsville, if you're not familiar with it, it's downtown Disney. They got the luxury bowling experience. We can get sushi and all food,
Sure,
drinks,
yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
It's like a pub kind of.
Yeah, kind of like it's got a pub, whatever else. But Swan and Dolphin's doing their own mini version of things.
Mhm.
So maybe you never have to leave the Swan and Dolphin to go to Disney Springs. You can go to Lagoon Games, Lanes and Eats is what the name of it is.
Lanes and Eats.
Lanes and Eats. Lagoon Games, Lanes and Eats.
catchy.
Do they have
Eh.
sushi?
I don't know, but if they did,
That's
that would
pretty
be the
good.
game changer.
That
Splitsville
would-
has sushi.
Yeah.
They haven't released any menus or anything, but they say, and I quote, "This is a perfect blend of excitement and entertainment featuring the latest in interactive gaming from thrilling new releases to timeless classics."
Oh.
So it could be anything from like the latest game to Pac-Man.
I was gonna say it's like a Barcadia kind of thing.
At least,
Or
yeah.
one of them.
I remember being a kid and going to the Contemporary and seeing that game room and just my eyes lighting up.
Oh yeah.
That thing, I mean, it was like nothing, like no arcade, no Chuck E. Cheese could have ever prepared you for walking into a game room of that size.
And we hadn't seen it since in any of the Disney hotels. But I mean, if they're doing this might be a return to that.
Yeah, and the best part was when you went to Contemporary, there was like a caricature artist in the middle of it, like, and then they would draw on like a little cell, like your picture, and like it would be like a little, not like what they do now where they paint it or everything. It was black and white, but it was like on a
like a clear
there you go.
acetate
Yeah.
kinda.
There you go, and you would get it with a white border, and they would put something together for you, and you boom. You
Oh,
take it
that's
as
That's
an
cool.
classy.
souvenir. And I remember, standing in line to get in that.
Do they even do that anywhere? I don't remember seeing anything like that.
No.
Other than like the-
Now, if you do caricatures, you do it back at the resorts, and it's
Yeah.
full.
It's on the paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Beautiful,
Wham Bam.
like colored. You don't even sit there anymore. The caricature artist takes your picture and you go
Yep.
off and do everything. Used to be where you would stay there.
Oh yeah.
And they would sketch you.
yeah,
but-
easily.
Now, ever since COVID, I should say,
Well, that's
it's been
fair.
like they take pictures and that's it.
Yeah, wham bam. There's your art, ma'am.
Yeah.
Give me $20.
Boom.
Yeah.
There's your picture. Cash app it to me.
Well,
But the
this
going
sounds
back to
pretty
what you
cool.
were talking-
Yeah.
Yes.
There's supposed to be a small set of bowling lanes. They'll be available alongside numerous arcade-style video games, perfect for guests of all ages.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And there will be seating areas available for guests to take a break and try some of the dishes and drinks that will be available. Menus soon to come.
That's not
Cool.
a bad idea. If you're a parent and you got your kids and you just came from going to the parks, but your kids still need to be entertained, but you need to chill out, just
Mhm.
going right down the steps and having your meal and letting them be entertained. That's pretty
Well,
smart.
that's what the pool is for. If you're asking me, like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but-
great, but then now, Mom, Dad, I need $50. I need to go play a few video games.
Well, that's for maybe they got some credit thing for that, but you know how it works.
Yeah, no,
You know.
I'm with you. You're right.
Tokens. You either get tokens.
Yeah, maybe they put that on, something when you travel, you get this credit with it. But kids are more video game oriented, especially when it gets late. I mean,
Well, kids nowadays have better video games on their phone than you're going to find
Right.
most
It has to be
there.
it has to be a level that much higher
Yes.
for people to spend money. Because I mean, I walk into some of these Disney Resort game rooms and it's just not as crowded as it used to be because the technology doesn't even match.
There's like 2 people in there.
Right. Which is great for me because I can just go play all my old games. But at the same time, it's like, not really keeping up with this. But maybe this is a step once they do this and it launches and it gets off the ground. Maybe we'll see a resurgence back to those times of killer arcades, so to speak. Because to Danny's point, I remember when I was growing up, those arcades were just otherworldly for me.
They were.
This was walking into it and you hear all the sounds and the lights. It's like this is it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then once you could get it all at home, it ended. I mean, that's why games like Dance Dance Revolution and all the stuff that you had to kind of do physically.
Yeah.
Where you actually physically needed to be present. That's kind of what the arcades became.
I thought this was like what's that they think down the street, Game On? I just equated it to that.
Right. Yes. Game On.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't own a place like that, so I don't know what it's like 24/7. But yeah, to be fair.
But Game On also has axe throwing. Can't do that at home. Well, you shouldn't do that at home.
Please, kids, don't do that at home.
Unless your sister really aggravates you.
Oh, jeez. And then it's got to be plastic.
Not real. No. And they had bowling.
But
and
that's
they
what
had, laser tag and all that stuff. So there's more than just video games there.
So it's kind of like a Dave and Buster's, but with bowling and hopefully better food.
That's what I'm saying. That's what this model sounds like. And they may expand if it gets better, but...
Which I think is good because it's like, when you're at the resort nowadays, like, I don't want to just swim.
Right.
Yeah, I figured I'd bring that up because I just saw that and I'm just like, this harkens back a nice time to me when arcades were a big thing.
Exactly. And that's what I was kind of correlating it back to contemporary because that was one of the big draws. And that was when they only had 3 hotels?
Right. Yeah.
If that.
So look, y'all, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go ahead and respond to our listeners.
Be our guest. Be our guest. Put our service to the test. Tie your napkin.
And here we are on Guest Services, the segment in which we get to service you, the listener. And to lead off this segment, we have a voicemail from JP, our California correspondent.
Oh, love JP.
Great people. Partner's a great person.
Oh, Josh. Yeah.
Josh is awesome.
Yes.
Josh is great.
They're over there in Japan,
right?
having a lot of fun. Posting in the group.
Making me super jealous.
Yeah.
Not just you, sir.
But anyway, he sends a voicemail as a follow-up to our show about Disney live entertainment productions coming online for summer 2025.
Okay.
So I guess before he left, he sent us this.
Hey guys, it's JP. I'm your LA correspondent. Hey, so you guys were talking about the Stark Lab flight simulator thing, and you were talking about it going into some sort of simulation. I don't think it goes into any screen-based area. To me, it looks like it's just those KUKA arms, and it's just going around. So picture kind of like you would look at Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, and you see all the ride vehicles, right? And they're doing their thing and they stop and then you've seen the whole ride. I think this is kind of like the same thing. Cause from what I saw on screen, it looks like it's just you going up, you doing some twirls and stuff, and then you land and then that's it. So I may be wrong, but to me, that's what it looked like in the South by Southwest video. So anyways, give me a call or whatever, and we can discuss further if you want. Okay, thanks, bye.
Oh, we'll definitely discuss when he gets back. But I said that when we were doing the show. I thought it just looked a little lame. We were going to be just twirling and there were no goggles or anything. And then I think Rachel said she saw a picture.
With goggles,
With goggles where there might have been something else. So I'm kind of with JP on this one where I think I didn't equate it to Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Yeah, when you think Iron Man, you think Junkyard.
Yeah, when you think think of Tony Stark.
He might really be right because I agree with him. When I saw that concept art, I did not see any goggles where there might be some kind of an element that we're looking at where we're going. It looked like they were just twirling you around and that was it.
In the Stark Lab, yeah.
Yeah, I think when it came from, I remember venting about that. I think I said something along the lines of it would be cool for the Iron Man IP if they had a simulation of that, like you're flying and stuff.
Right.
So I don't know if he took that to mean that was my opinion, not what was said by the thing.
Well, no, it's all good.
Yeah. No, we both
There was at some
speculated.
point, yeah.
Because I remember saying, well, it'd be cool if like all of a sudden the roof opened or something like that, and it looked like you were outdoors, or there were things happening above you, or whatever happened.
Yeah.
But that's not borne out by the concept art at all that I saw. But Rachel saw a picture of people wearing goggles, or a video of people wearing goggles, and she surmised that there might be more to it.
Yeah, it could be like augmented reality stuff. We're just not sure. I can see his point about the Mater's thing, where it's like maybe you can see all the different ride vehicles and they're all kind of moving in the same way. So I guess it's the choreography aspect of Mater's he's talking about.
Yes,
because you can see all the ride vehicles at the same time, and that it kind of lends to that from the video that we saw, because
it does.
It wasn't really. I mean, it's a small footprint, and there wasn't really much like zigzagging. It was just like figure eights here and there. That's about it.
How lame is that?
Quite.
For like, I mean, don't get me wrong.
The coolest thing is the hookup to the arm, right?
Yeah.
I'm redefining lame the more and more I see out of Avengers Campus. But that would be really a lame use of
Iron Man, of tech, of tech in general. Yeah.
And yes, you're right. Iron Man and the Kuka arm tech.
Well, you got web slingers up in there, so I mean, whatever that.
I just
web slingers, Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
I want so much more for my love of comics to be seen there.
Is Avengers Campus easily the worst use of IP in promising IP?
That's a good question
that we've ever seen in a Disney park. Where you saw something coming along like, oh my God, they're bringing that to the parks. I'm so excited. And then you go see it and you're like, what the hell is this?
Would you consider tangled bathrooms being up there?
At least you get used out the bathrooms.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, yes and no, because yes, if you're an everyday park goer and stuff like that, and you go there and you see Tangled, and you're like, oh wow, I can't wait to see that attraction, and it's just bathrooms. Sure,
yeah.
But as an avid Disney fan, and we knew what we were getting when they opened, we kind of knew, okay, it's just going to be bathrooms and a charging area. So
Tangled themed bathrooms,
right? Not as I mean, maybe Avatar was a little bit disappointing because you have all this great stuff at night, but you can't see it at night. And
but there's still
Navi
stuff
River
you
Journey was kind of lame.
You still have an attraction though.
I think Avengers Campus is probably. I mean, because they could do anything Marvel related they wanted, and this is what we're getting. This is not good.
No, I'm trying to think of. I really am trying to think of something, but all I can think of when I think of Avengers Campus is an empty building at night, and then that's it.
I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are Stitch fans right now saying, "Oh man, Stitch's Great Escape," but I don't know that they're Stitch and Marvel. That's two different levels. This is a whole land, that they've created here, and 90% of it is not up to snuff, I would say. I mean, you've got Guardians of the Galaxy, but I mean, you've got to grade that one on a curve because that ride system was already there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a layover.
It's funny. It's
overlay.
Overlay. Yeah.
It had a layover.
Layover. I'm like, did we get delayed?
Yeah.
I'm glad you do it. I bet.
Yes, I knew what you meant.
What's funny is that in the States, it's like our only comparison of a Marvel theme park entities, Universal in Florida.
Yeah.
Right. And they went for the comic book aspect, but they got a killer ride in Spider-Man.
Yes.
And the Hulk's not a shabby coaster.
They did. I was going to tell this to Eli because the other day I saw somebody posting something. I didn't realize this, and maybe you already knew this, Kev, but I saw that originally that Spider-Man ride was supposed to be a Superman ride.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I knew that.
That they were going for a cartoon world back over there when they were doing Islands of Adventure, and that they were looking to get their hands on the DC property.
Oh,
and there's actually like where they were going to do not the Daily Bugle, but with the Daily Planet.
Daily Planet,
and do it like that with Superman coming in and fighting some of his old foes.
Oh, wow.
So, wow. It just goes to show, man, like, a good idea is a good idea, and you could have applied it to Superman. It would. I don't know if it would work as good as Spider-Man, but I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah,
I would like to have seen that too.
You could have done a lot of that, but of course that's not Disney property. But yeah, hey, that ride system, it works. It's very effective.
It's great.
It's very effective.
They should be doing more.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Why are they not copying that? Like, man, that's the thing that
I don't know why we don't have more 3D shows. I think 3D shows are awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give us something that everybody can ride, grandma included.
Yeah. It's all magic to us, the fans.
It's all magic to us. That's right. Yeah. So awesome. Thanks, JP, for phoning in and leaving a voicemail. That's an option that you guys out there can do. Call us at 815-MO-WEEKEND. That's
815-MO-WEEKEND.
669-4226. And we'll play your voicemail on the air.
And he's probably right on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
thinking
usually
he
right.
is.
Probably so, yeah.
He thinks very well.
He is our California correspondent.
Yeah.
He is.
He don't play.
Yeah.
He doesn't play.
He, not just LA, like he said, it's entire California.
Yes.
That's right.
That's right. Go listen.
Yeah, be safe on your trip, sir.
Absolutely. All right.
Who's next?
Next, we have a text message. Yet another way you can get in touch with us. You can send us a text message like Lenore, and her number comes up as Magical Day Travel. So maybe it's another travel agent.
Oh, wow.
So, but anyway, Lenore, she also contacted us in response to the show about Disney Live Entertainment Productions coming online for 2025.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
And I quote, just listened to yesterday's podcast and was cracking up at all the old people references.
We do that very well.
Yeah. And she says, when y'all were talking about Boys to Men being old, I was thinking New Edition and laughing at myself.
We cracked up on Bended Knee. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my God.
I was going to make a Tony reference, but
the
just
Jets.
ran out of time.
Oh, the Jets. We were going to do acapella, but we're like, hey, it's not enough time. for that.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And she continues, also, I do not agree with Danny about Luca. I love that movie and enjoy it much more than Onward. To each their own, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I'm not saying Luca's a bad movie by any stretch. I just felt like Onward was a richer property and something I enjoyed a little bit more.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm not nothing against. Yeah, Luca's fine.
Yeah. And it was just in response to, like, they were left out.
Yes, exactly.
Luca was not left out, but Onward was
for whatever
blatantly
odd
left out. Yeah.
And I thought that was egregious.
Yeah.
It was.
And she continues on. And finally, I just got back 6 days ago from a Walt Disney World trip. And let me tell you, I've got an amazing story to tell my grandkids about. It's tough to be a bug.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Did she tell us this story?
She did.
Oh, let's hear it.
I've been on it probably a dozen times over the years, and I've never quite had the experience I had a week ago.
Wait, let's savor this because this is probably the last It's Tough to Be a Bug story we're ever going to hear.
You're absolutely right.
But there are so many of these because it's that great of a ride.
Mhm.
But okay.
Which I still am kind of miffed that I never got how abrupt it was. I never had a chance to at least make it down there to try to experience it.
Exactly. And I call it a ride. It's I guess it's an
attraction.
It's an attraction. It's not a ride, but yeah.
But good for Lenore for being
It's a ride at the end, technically.
You jump out of your seat, that's for sure.
You ride on out the theater.
You get a thrill.
On the backs of a bug.
And that what you want for a thrill? Why? There it is.
Bug style.
There you go.
Let's hear this.
Yeah, so yeah, she good for Lenore for being able to experience some Tough to Be Bug on probably one of its last performances, but also to experience this particular version of it, which created a core memory. And I'll continue to quote her text message. She says, well, she did say, I've never quite had the experience I had a week ago.
Okay.
And she says, I was legit fighting for my life when they sprayed that damn fake bug spray.
Oh, wow. Yes.
She said it was rough.
Ooh.
Needless to say, my fiance and I are still laughing our asses off about me nearly dying in the attraction. So funny.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Whoa. So people just started getting up and swinging elbows. And when the spiders were dropping and...
No, it was well, here's the thing. I asked her to kind of clarify a little bit. It's like, I was joking. It's like, it's probably Disney trying to offload that scent stuff since it's the last few days, to try to get rid of it. And she's like, I think you're correct. It seemed like to last forever, and I literally cannot catch a breath or see a thing.
Oh.
Okay. Great memory, though, considering it closed 4 days later.
Oh, so it wasn't like people were panicking like the tarantulas were really attacking and the bug spray. It was so much smoke.
It's so much spray. That's what, yeah. When the little hand went up to the top of the screen, went...
She got all the smoke.
She got all the smoke. And then some.
And then
has to say.
no.
She was fighting for her breath. So, yeah, that was kind of funny. I was like, I hope Disney emptied out their stash.
That's
what said bug spray.
All the rain we got.
Because apparently they had 4 days to do it. So
well, if that's what they're doing, I don't want to know about what happened with the stink bug. That had to be insanely putrid this time around.
Well, they probably could have shipped it over to Figment, right? Because they still got that skunk smell, I guess.
Oh, right.
Well,
right,
let's
right.
hope so.
Which is almost the same stuff.
I
you know,
still
it's
remember
like
that
coffee
Joe
beans.
Rohde story that we did where he picked out the stink bug smell and he's like, that's earthy.
That is earthy.
That is earthy.
It's definitely earthy for sure.
Oh God.
Anyway, she finished up her text message. She says, anyway, love you guys and the podcast. We re-listened to the episode where Danny and Eli went to Disneyland with Danny's cousin and family. My fiance had never heard it, and so on our drive home from Walt Disney World, I put it on, and we were rolling. Thanks for the laughs, Lenore.
You know,
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed our pain.
no, that's fair. Lenore, you know what? Every once in a blue moon, I too put on that episode. I don't know why, because I gotta relive the trauma again or something. But yeah,
It's coping. It's a coping mechanism. for
it is
sure.
because then we see the kids later, and like they're
Oh, yeah.
all older now, and they're like, "Yeah, how about?" I'm like, "No, I'll never go on the trip with you again unless I'm bringing my belt."
You know what the best part of that is that none of them have any idea that we recorded about that.
Oh, really?
Like, one day they'll actually hear that show at some point in time and they will be really, really, really mad at me for telling some of those stories. But Eli and I were talking about this the other day. There were stories we didn't
I
tell.
was about to say, we did
Oh,
really
man.
good.
That could have really come about bad. But
yeah, like I'd be like, look, if they come at you that day, you call me. You know
Yes.
me. I do not like confrontation until there's some confrontation. So,
there were no lies told.
No.
0 lies were told on that podcast. In fact, we
We cut
tailed
some-
it back.
we cut some, but we kept it, and we kept it light. We kept it funny, but no, that trauma was fresh,
Mm-hmm.
like daisies that had just grown like that Sunday morning. Like, that had to be told.
It's amazing.
That had to be
amazing
told.
story.
I appreciate that she used that though. That's awesome.
There were times when we were on that trip where Eli was like, who are you texting? I'm like, no, I'm just documenting this. Like, he would see me on my phone writing down.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you doing? Like, you texting? I'm like, no. I'm copying all this down so I don't forget this.
And then it was sometimes be like, you better put that in your phone. It just happened.
That's exactly right. That's probably my favorite one that we ever did that, in terms of podcasts, I would say, because
Trip reports for
it was,
sure.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
trip report. It was all true. It was all funny and it was all real.
Absolutely. Glad she enjoyed it though. And the fiance as well.
Yeah. I'm glad you made your drive home from Walt Disney World more entertaining for sure.
Hey, look, there's nothing like that. It's like Vacation, right? Like we all watched the movie Vacation with Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
And you laugh. Why? Because we've all been in those situations where things just are not going right, you know? And it's fun to talk about those times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, cool. Well, thanks for sending us a text message, and you listeners can also text the same number we just gave, when
Mhm.
JP just called and left a voicemail. We'll repeat it at the end of the show. But you
I'll never
send us
forget the
text.
time when we went to, what was it? We went on vacation in the middle of a hurricane and we were eating at Chefs de France and we got stranded in the middle of a hurricane. This is when Anna's dad was with us at the time. And yeah, they left early and we got stranded in a hurricane.
Oh, I remember that story. Yeah,
I remember
telling the
that.
story,
That was
yeah.
another one where it's like, whoa, you got to be kidding.
It's never a dull moment going
There
on
was-
vacation with you.
No,
It's not. It's not.
it's like angels are breaking seals or something.
Get
there.
your health insurance out.
Signs are, yeah.
Oh my
Tell
gosh.
you what, be prepared.
Yeah, well, look, send us a text message. Chances are, if you catch us every time, we'll probably reply to you right off the bat. And yeah, we like to communicate with the listeners, so go for it.
Who's next?
Next, we have an email from one of our Patreon supporters, Gene.
Hey, Gene.
Hey.
Yeah, Gene, about his idea to make Disney billions of dollars.
Oh my goodness. He's the one?
He's the one.
All right.
I'm listening
Yes.
now.
Yeah,
What's happening?
the subject of his email was Disney Moneymaker. And you could also send us an email at showmagicourway.com, just like Gene did. And he says, and I quote, Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Rachel, I had an idea on how Disney can make billions, and I'd love to hear your opinion on it.
Okay.
And he goes on to say, the premise is nostalgia and bringing most of us back to our childhoods. In this plan, Disney buys a huge amount of land somewhere in the Texas-Oklahoma area. On this property, they have several parks, but there's no theme in them. Instead, each one is a decade, 50s, 60s, etc.
That's your theme.
In these parks are now the defunct attractions from those decades. Mr. Toad, Snow White, 20,000 Leagues, Mission to Mars, Star Tours, Journey to Imagination, etc. Anything that has been removed or rethemed to the point that it is unrecognizable.
So like a real life defunct land.
Yes, like a real life defunct land. Even archive land, even.
Okay.
We're archiving all the rides. There it is. You can still experience it.
File
References if you need it.
Retro land.
Yes. And he continues, with this, new gates are always going to be created since they will always be reimagining attractions, but it will allow those of us of a certain age to relive what we loved. It would also allow new generations to discover the classic rides that Walt and Roy had a hand in. It also has the added benefit of being the middle of the country, so people from both coasts can get to it, and those already there can have the, and I quote his quote, "We live within driving distance of a Disney park experience."
Oh, wow.
So what do you think? So good that they'll never do it? laugh emoji.
Yes.
And he says, signed Gene H, aka Mr. Cheapskate.
Oh, gee.
Mr. Cheapskate.
Which I guess could be his Mohican name if we're still doing that. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Cheapskate.
Mr. Cheapskate. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
I thought Eli was Mr. Cheapskate.
Did you meet me the couple of weeks ago? You kidding me?
Oh, yeah. No boo. Yeah, you are not Mr.
Oh,
Cheapskate.
that, but I am Mr. Cheapskate for the past couple of weeks after that. So that's fair to your point. I like the geographical location.
The location, yeah,
that's great. Texas is like way easier to drive to. You could go there and hit back. I don't mind the nostalgia thing because I know we've said this a lot where you want to remember something and then you want your kids or grandkids to like see something and you kind of guide them through it.
to have that same experience that you did.
I think that's great. And really, I don't know what age decade it is, to be fair. I don't know if it's late 40s or early 50s and on, but at some point you do get stuck in this like nostalgia phase. And this time of so many channels to watch and so many things that are new, I find myself watching things that I really enjoyed when I was younger. It's the weirdest thing. So I think he has a point with nostalgia land or defunct land or retro land. I like it.
Nostalgia land.
Nostalgia land sounds nicer.
Nostalgia
it does,
land.
but the problem with the idea is that they just rebuild on what was already there. It's not like
They didn't preserve the stuff.
right. Like all the animatronics were repurposed and put into other things.
It might cost them billions of dollars to recreate
No, you never know that. You might have parts on eBay.
it. Well, maybe it's like the bottom of the ocean. They can just fish it out.
It might depend as far as parts. That's fair.
Can we have the old showbiz characters there too?
Oh, it's like a retro attraction with the characters. Oh, that's funny. Oh my goodness.
No, that's the problem though, is that right? They don't salvage anything. They repurpose it.
Or destroy it.
Or
sell it on eBay.
Wait, did they have like a warehouse or something at one point that they stored stuff at? Remember we did a store a long time ago when some guy stole a whole bunch of things out of some warehouse that they had like old pieces and tried to sell them?
No, it was what's his name? The dude from Body Wars or Cranium Command.
He's
Cranium.
The Cranium Command dude.
Yeah,
he
that
was a
guy.
Buzzy.
There you go.
Buzzy, that's right. That's right. So I thought they had something stored, but
They probably, I mean, some of that stuff's just still sitting there.
Mhm.
Like the, food rocks or the.
yeah.
Well, I remember
area,
going on one of those behind the scenes tours, and you got to see the old Bonnie Appetit character from Kitchen Cabaret.
Kitchen Cabaret, yeah.
Okay.
Which was absolutely one of my favorites.
I love that one.
I loved Kitchen Cabaret. I would love to sit there through another one of those viewings. Look, I would totally go to this. I would.
It is a cool idea. I mean, yeah.
I love the idea of it. I would absolutely be a visitor, but I have a feeling that
You're not going to hold your breath.
well, there wouldn't be fast passes to this.
Oh, no.
Be old passes.
Oh, well, that would be ticket books. Yeah, that's what they
true.
do. They do the ticket book.
Raffle tickets.
You got to buy that a true e-ticket and a D-ticket. And
You
all
get that old school fast pass, huh? Bring that retro back.
You got to get that ticket, man.
That's
you pay for everything.
I mean, at least like make a museum.
Belongs in a museum.
Yes. Display some of what remains from these old attractions.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean,
Like an archive in the middle. I'd dig that.
Oh,
Actually,
100%.
I'd go travel to see that, actually.
yeah. I mean, Carousel of Progress is nice because they actually did, and that's one that I think that could be your e-ticket attraction.
They could relocate that because they've done it before.
Hey, it's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is there. I'm
The
going.
hydrolator.
Oh, I'm done.
Get the hydrolator.
Oh yeah, hydrolator would be cool.
Yes,
It'd be great.
I'm with you. That would be a nice place for attractions to go when they, I don't want to say die, but like
Yeah.
They
kinda pass off.
retire. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
It's the AARP of theme
Yeah,
parks.
yeah.
Be like the Canton, Ohio, like the Hall
Yeah,
of
the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
of theme park attractions, and yeah, no, I'd be 100% cool.
They
with
need
this.
that. I think they need a Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Disney Parks Hall of Fame.
Give you a little bio of the Imagineer that created it. You can learn a lot of something. If
I
you're
would
a
pay for that.
historian, I think
It
that's
would make it a whole lot easier when they're closing attractions that we love.
It wouldn't hurt as bad.
No, it would
Right.
not hurt. Oh, if they put the shoot gallery up in there,
Can you
talk
imagine
about.
if
That'd
they
be
had
awesome.
the choice? What do we do with Alien Encounter? Do we repurpose it into Stitch, or do we move it to this new location where people who are prone to visit would visit it?
Because it would still make money.
Yes, it
Yeah.
would. It would, as
Yeah.
opposed to neutering it and calling it,
Something
Well,
else.
Stitch's
and then
hot dog
stick-
belch.
Yeah.
that.
And now it's just sitting there doing nothing.
right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
It's
true.
wasted space for sure.
They ask people questions all the time. All these questionnaires, like that would be a good one to have. Like I would check the box on that, knowing that
Sure.
there would be a retro place for this to go. Because you make it. I remember going there. Please keep it for me. That would be nice.
That would be nice. I would have liked that. So, yeah, Gene, that's a great idea. And when Rachel gets back on the show, maybe we'll have her give her thoughts on it because he did address her as well in this. So we'll be curious to see what she thinks. But yeah, absolutely. You could definitely shoot us an email, show@magicourway.com, just like Gene did, or magicourway@gmail.com. Either email works. That was our original one. But yeah, just another way for you to get in touch with us.
Who's next?
And next we have Greta M, who always loves sliding into our Instagram DMs.
Oh,
Oh,
Greta.
yeah, yeah.
I love Greta.
She's very
yeah.
good at that. And
Very good.
listeners, you could do the exact same thing. Any of our social media things, you could just slide into our direct messages and just, send it. Greta does a great job of that. And if she catches it, I can always respond. This one I just happen to miss, and I feel bad, so I'm going to address it. We're going to answer it on the air.
That's
Let's
fair.
do that.
That's just as beautiful, Kevin.
You may want to email her. 'Cause she may be like, those suckers, they didn't respond to me. And your comment was so good, we did it on the show.
And I'm glad you said that because usually what I'll do is I will respond to whatever medium that you contact us on, let you know that it's going to show up on this such and such episode show. Because sometimes it takes us a little bit to get back to and answer and stuff. So,
It does. We are not exactly.
well, yeah,
What,
time
punctual?
with this. Yes,
Yes.
punctual on this stuff. But I
Ask
will
Rachel.
message.
We are often late,
Yeah, but
I will-
technology moves faster than us, so it's not our fault.
but reliable.
We are
We are
there.
reliable. We will
are
do it.
there.
We definitely will do it. And I will message you back on whatever medium you did, letting you know that your thing has been addressed on this particular episode.
Yes.
Whatever number this is.
I like
And
that.
so I'll do the same thing for Greta M. And Greta she changes up just a little bit, and she says this, quote, "I just have to say, every time I see the trailer for this new Snow White movie, I think about what Peter Dinklage said about using little people and why those actors lost jobs." And in parentheses, she says, yes, that's actually the PC term. "And I think the CGI looks so horrible. I will be paying $0 to view this movie." I think Danny talked about this in an episode a while ago. End quote.
She is 1,000% correct on that.
Mhm.
I this past weekend, like literally yesterday, we had this conversation as a family because my wife's like, "Is there any movies out we should see?" And Snow White came up, and we watched a trailer, and we looked at those little people. Is that
That's what she said.
Well,
She said
CGI. Then you
little
can
okay.
say CGI, though. You can say CGI.
Yeah, we looked at it, and it looked it looked like the dawn of CG. It looked like this
beginning.
was, yeah, this is like
That's fair.
the original Shrek kind of animation.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're rubbery looking.
Yes, there's something quite off. There's nothing cute about the dwarfs in the way that they animated them. They're trying to make them look like real people, but making them look cartoony as well. But they're neither fish nor fowl. They neither look like the original characters that were so cute and endearing. They kind of look like real people, but the facial features are just off. It's dead. It just looks, like you said, rubbery.
Yeah. No, I saw the trailer on TV, so I didn't see it online. I'm guessing online you must have had a longer version than I did because on TV, if you blink, you miss it. Like that's how short the trailer is. It's
Oh,
like,
really?
Yeah, there's Snow White, and then I guess it's Sleepy Baby. There's a dwarf. He yawns, and then it's like Snow White. I'm like, well, what about Gal Gadot? How about that? Like, I wouldn't mind seeing some of that on TV. You know, not there.
Some of Gal Gadot.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, all right.
Gal Gadot.
Yeah, I wish so.
There's a point there where I've seen a few reviews on this because it's like, well, maybe we need to go see this at some point in time. And
what are they saying?
There was a conversation about whether or not we should even cover it this week. And the reviews have not been good, but they all kind of mention that it feels like a segmented movie, almost like it's two movies in one. Like where there was the story with the dwarfs, but you remember the 7 magical creatures that we covered before?
Yeah.
Apparently they show up.
Really?
At some point in time, and the person that I saw reviewing, well, a couple of people I saw talking about it says it feels like it's 2 separate movies. It's like there was what's happened with these 7 people, and then there's another group of 7 people that show up later on, and it doesn't really quite work as well, and that's when the story starts to
fall apart.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's called Snow White and the basketball team. So.
Yeah, I'm not really quite sure as to where it went from there. At that point, I was like, "Ooh, this it doesn't sound like it's going very well." So there's no real point in going out to go see it. I'll maybe check it out when it's online, just out of morbid curiosity. More than anything
I'd be the same way.
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Yeah.
If I'm Disney right now, I'm not even worried about putting anything out in the movie theaters. Like I'm just like, look, Disney Plus. That's what you guys paid for. You check it out because you're already paying for it. Here's all the content. Because it does seem like the trailers don't do anything any justice. Like I could go to other movies, but that's not the point that Greta's trying to talk about. But it's like, you watch a trailer and it's supposed to hype you up, not make you say, I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Makes you sad.
Yeah. and then I like the fact that his whole family had a conversation about, because usually his family conversation about a movie, one of them is gung-ho to see a movie. They just kind of wait for the other 2 to kind of come around. But in the case, if nobody wanted to see it and there was no argument.
So that's telling.
That's very telling.
Well, not only that, like when I'm the one that was kind of like, well, maybe we should go see it. And my youngest, my daughter is like, nah, I'm good.
Dang.
That really does say because I wanted to see what they did with Dopey. Because Dopey being my favorite character, I wanted to see how they handled him. And I saw clips in the trailer and not my Dopey.
Not your Justice.
Not your Dopey.
Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah. You got to bring him to nostalgia lane.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No. But I was willing to give him a shot when I saw the whole thing, but they did not want to see it.
Oh, man. You know, it's funny you say that because my kids have yet to bring it up at all. Yeah.
Wow.
They made no mention about wanting to see the movie, period.
And it's such a mainstay. Like that's what did you say? That's a major pillar in Disney folklore.
Right. But these live action remakes aren't for kids. They're for us. Right? Like, we're going to give you the movies you loved growing up, but we're going to modernize them and we're going to do them and we're going to make them better, except the fact that they don't. They make them worse.
Ah, wow.
You know, it's funny, but I didn't ask for that.
No.
Ask for that.
I was totally fine.
Thank you.
I was totally fine with the cartoon.
Right.
The animated feature.
I didn't ask for Snow White. Snow White landed on me.
That's right. That's right. You know?
You're right, Kevin.
Yeah, that's
right.
fair, Kevin.
None of us wanted this. We've been like, please stop. Wow. I don't know who they're making it for anymore. I don't.
I don't.
But it's somebody because they did good in the box office. It sounds.
Did it
like.
really?
It didn't there was no competition really.
There was that Mickey 7. There was that Robert Pattinson movie. It came out like I don't. Yeah, there was something called Mickey 17 or Mickey something. I don't know.
He's a clone and he's got to kill his. Yeah, gotcha.
Whatever it was. I mean,
they don't really have. That's what I'm saying. Like now, like there's no movie competition for them now. So yeah, if you want to just go to the movie to get out, especially if you got to go on a date, this is probably the best option you could get.
Yep. And that's no critique on Gal Gadot or what's the girl's name that plays Snow White?
I have no idea.
They gave her a hard time, wherever she is.
Yeah, a lot of people have. I think she's pretty. That's all I can say.
She looks cute.
I don't I've never seen it before. I don't know anything about her, but
I've never heard about her until the Snow White movie.
I just hear a lot of people calling her Lord Farquaad because of her hairstyle.
Oh God!
And it's like
That ain't fair.
exactly. It's like, come on. I was like, all right, there's a lot you could critique her
The
for.
Muffin Man.
But that hairstyle, that's uniquely Snow White.
That's Snow
it's
White.
not like she was like, you know what I want? I want the Javier Bardem, No Country for Old Men look.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me that. Give me
Because who
that.
doesn't, right?
That's the number 5. That's what I want up there.
So, whatever the actress name is, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
but,
know her name.
I don't really know anything about her, but I don't know if the hairstyle was her choice.
No, and Disney princesses with these movies now, when they're trying to remake them, they all are getting a hard time. Like I remember the Little
Princesses?
Mermaid.
Yeah.
The little, well, you know, when they redid the Little Mermaid, she got like, I mean, I'm not worried about that, none of it, but that is a trend. And yeah, Gal Gadot as the evil queen, I've seen pictures, but I've never seen her on the trailer. She looks killer to me. Where's the love there?
She always looks killer.
Oh, Gal Gadot's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman?
That's
Wonder Woman.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Like Ferris and the Land. I mean, you're going to compare Gal Gadot to Snow White. Like, it's not even
Not
Yeah,
even
it's kinda
close.
tough.
That's
Yeah.
like a woman to a child.
I don't know. I thought the new Snow White's beautiful. I think she's attractive. I mean, I don't think it's a fair criticism to critique her beauty. But what's the standard of the story? Is the magic mirror telling you the fairest in the land because you're the most beautiful or internally beautiful?
Now, that's deep.
Well, right, but isn't that a good question?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question.
I never thought to ask that when I was a kid. And I knew when I was a kid watching it that fairest in the land meant the most physically beautiful. But as we've matured and we look for more in our stories, maybe it could have been a little bit more deeper than that. That no, you're kind of the worst in the land
You're ugly on the inside.
because you're so ugly on the inside, and
Right.
And this girl right here is the,
right,
the
she's
fairest.
so nice on the inside.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, you understand that depth of personality.
right. Yeah.
You have the maturity to understand the depth of personality.
We've gone through a lot of some serious dating to have gotten to that level of depth.
And that's the landmines that you have to tiptoe through when you remake these things. Because when you think about it with 2025 mentality, you're like, yeah, fairest in the land. It all comes down to how you look.
Mm-hmm.
What about your soul? What about? I'm like, I don't know about y'all, but I've met a lot of people who were pretty, and then you got to know them, and you were like, ooh.
Oh, it turned you off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I've met quite a few.
And there are a lot of people you meet who you don't necessarily think are the most attractive people in the world, but the more you get to know them, the more you're like, wow, she's
really cool.
gorgeous.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not digging your
personality goes a long way.
Yeah, personally 100%.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
that's big time.
Helps.
That's big time.
But I can't get past the look of the dwarfs. I'm just saying.
They're not the fairest of the land for you.
Man, oh man, no. Like, I don't understand. It looks like, I don't know. Why not make them look as close to the original vision as possible? I don't know, like with this rubbery in between version of the fantastical animated version and
The Fantastic
trying
Four.
to make it real. Well, okay, sure.
I didn't see that.
Mr. Fantastic.
It's definitely a thing.
Yeah. Hey, that'd have been awesome.
Oh gosh. Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah. I have no desire to see this movie until it comes out on like say D+ or something. So look, Greta, thank you as always for sliding into those Instagram DMs. You're more welcome to do that as often as you like. I always love hearing from you.
Mm-hmm.
And you other listeners, you can do the same thing. And speaking of which,
Who's next?
so I'm not going to read a lot of these texts. We've been getting a bunch of them. But lastly, I do want to shout out, speaking of sliding into our DMs, I want to shout out all of our followers on TikTok. Yes, we are on TikTok. If you're on there, you can definitely follow the Magic Hour podcast. On there, we have some OG Mohicans up in there, like Mr. and Mrs. Mononymous. And then also we have a lot of TikTok only followers that follow us on the clips that we put out there from our podcast or whatever else. And I got to say, both of those people are hitting out of the park with their thoughtful comments and opinions, which have made for great discussions on that platform. And I think, Eli, at one point, I had you respond to a couple of things. We released a bunch of clips from our wrestling episodes we had a lot of people like forget YouTube, forget all the other platforms.
I was going to say Eli's taking a lot of heat on YouTube lately.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, on TikTok, man, there's a lot of Disney and wrestling fans, and they loved the episode. And I had Eli respond to some of these things, so things were coming in. And I was like, I don't know how to respond to this, and he did. And I shot you a text saying that we got this message from TikTok. I don't know how to respond, and you gave me some ideas, and I'm responding to those guys.
Wait, Mrs. Mononymous watches wrestling?
No, but she's just on there. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay,
speaking
okay.
of like, we have, I was making that point as far as OG Mohicans versus new Mohican, TikTok only Mohicans on there.
Sure.
But yeah, they're responding to our videos and comments and stuff. Like Mrs. Mohican, she responded. I released a clip where Rachel was saying like, this may be, Rachel said something like, in a quote, this may be controversial, but Magic Kingdom has like, to summarize, the worst food options in the parks, right? When we did that episode.
I don't even think that was controversial. I think she was dead on right.
And that's exactly what Miss Mononymous said. She's just like, that ain't controversial.
Yeah.
Essentially saying that's fact. And like there was a bunch of other TikTok followers that take the exact same thing.
Yep.
I like that the people are checking us out on TikTok. We don't even have to do any dancing or none of that stuff like that. That's
yeah,
cool.
I know. We had one comment is like, how do I get more of this stuff in my TikTok feed and whatever else?
No,
and I'm just like, hey, just like our stuff and then follow us, and then chances are we'll pop up more.
Holy crap!
With a bunch of this stuff. Yeah. Because they're tired of the dancing and the political stuff and all the junk, and so they just want to see this kind of content.
I can see that. I can see that. That's why, like, I go on a few things, but yeah.
And we're not even of the generation that does TikTok, but apparently we're doing okay.
Even the generation that does TikTok is trying to delve into what reality is, but they got like the TikTok mindset, so it's like completely skewed for them. But yeah.
Well, I think anybody could be good in 30-second increments.
Yes.
Well, that dancing takes practice, Danny. Like the dancing, the synchronized dancing and stuff takes practice.
Okay.
And the split screen stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you've been having a hard time on YouTube lately.
Yeah, that's to say is that the
life is
TikTok
YouTube.
listeners are blowing the YouTube people out of the water.
Oh, I go, yeah.
Because apparently the YouTube commenters want to be hand fed the video links.
Oh my goodness.
Or they don't like your AI photo creations.
Are we switching off of that? Because
we can, yeah. But I do want to shout out TikTok guys. Y'all keep it up. We love hearing from you. And I may take a few days to respond to you, but we will get back to you.
No, I think the TikTok.
We should explain the YouTube thing before you address it, though.
No, that's fair. And I'm not going to jump into that. We can explain it, but I was going to say to the YouTubers, they love the Disney wrestling thing like I did, and that's what you addressed that to me and Danny. Huge wrestling fans, so that was cool. Like I was like, I like that we tapped into that market, and there was such a response. So those cats, you just let them know. Yeah, keep on coming with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, guys, if you see a YouTube video from us, and you can see actually our faces talking, that was Kevin who did that video. Yes,
those are shorts,
because those are the shorts. The rest, where you see some AI artwork and a snippet of the show's release, that's Eli.
Correct. Yes.
And you have an AI program that you use to.
Kevin and I use the same program to put out towards YouTube, but Kevin, he's able to pull in the clips because he has the video from StreamYard, and then I have all of these different aspects to use for what would you say?
Well, they're shorts, but they're longer form shorts, more so than mine. Mine are like within a minute.
Yeah.
So I can post it across more platforms, but you do a little bit bigger.
Like the clips, they're like 10-minute clips.
You get more of the full story with your clips than
I give you like a chunk, and then but here's a picture to go with it, so you have something to look at if you choose to. Yes.
Yeah, and I like that kind of content. Like I'm in your kind of content. Like I can't 30 seconds and done. It's
I need to.
How's that satisfying?
I work for 30 minutes, at least 10 minutes.
There's a lot of women that right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the longer form content where you get more of a chunk of an idea, but you use AI artwork in order, like you don't use the standard typical,
like you don't draw it, you
right?
Make it or can generate yourself.
To be fair though, like Kevin and I was on the same plane, and Kevin was like, "Yeah, you gotta try this," and I was like, "All right, this is cool." So Kevin was showing me there were these other aspects to use. And I mean, if you see really earlier stuff that was done, it was kind of like, meshing words with weird pictures and stuff like that. And then one day they had this AI feature pop up. I was like, well, that's interesting because I play with it on other apps. I was like, well, why not? That's the future. So I would come up with these crazy things and it was like a hit or miss. And so that leads us to where we're at right now. And one of the things I learned to do is there's a word graphic. Like you put it in, I like to post in stuff like, all right, this is why we did this clip. This is where you'll find the episode. Please like, comment, and subscribe at the end of it. So someone decided to comment.
Couple people decided to comment and they did not like your representation of Ric Flair.
Yeah, that's funny.
But as a wrestling fan, they were right. It's a little jarring when you see Ric Flair with long tights.
That is, it's not traditional Ric Flair.
And so you learned, okay, if I'm going to put something AI, the artwork has to at least look like real life.
And that's the thing with the AI. I just want to say for the person, they don't understand. You can't just type in anything and then it comes out with the picture that you want. You're right. Ric Flair does not wear tights.
Right.
But trust me when I tell you, they were way worse pictures than I could have, because I was like, hey, let's just two wrestlers go to the headlock. And it was I never forget this one. It was a picture of a guy and his arm was way down. And then one guy had 3 legs. And I was like, this is not what a headlock looks like. And if I type in somebody specific, the AI will just give you this weird representation of them. So you have to be careful. If you go too detailed, it'll come out weirder. So you kind of have to work right in the middle of the words that you chose. And yes, I picked Ric Flair, and it was Ric Flair with tights, but I didn't type in Ric Flair with tights for the record.
Right.
But I think it's cool that while these people are mad, they still recognize that's Ric Flair. That could have been Jeff Jarrett.
Well, right, but it's not like you drew that.
I didn't draw that, no.
Yeah, it's okay.
No,
it looks, yes.
There it is, showing it on
long
the screen,
hair, blonde, woo, kind of, yes.
Thing, yes.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Put them in pants.
But you like the wrestling ring? I'm telling y'all, they're lucky the wrestling ring looks like a wrestling ring somewhere. Some parts you got to cut and crack. We do a lot. But okay, so what's the one person say? What he fussing about? The Ric Flair? Outside of that,
he was like, "What kind of whack ass stuff is this?" I'm paraphrasing, but it was something. There was at least 2 people that complained about that.
Yeah, and I went and I took some heart to that. I did.
Well, but you gotta understand, if you saw that it was another show, you'd be like, "Man, what is that?"
I know I didn't cry about it. Look, I said you like, comment, or subscribe. So I mean, look, you commented.
They commented.
And I'm about to comment back. I got
next time you're just gonna have to draw it yourself.
I ain't doing all that. Because if you say something about my drawing, I do it. Put your address down.
No whack nonsense.
I got nothing to lose. I'll draw him in his tights and stuff, doing some move. But you say, nah, the Deltona is off the wrong way. Be like, hold up, bro.
I'm coming to your house.
I just want to bring the picture with me. Yeah.
Easily one of your most popular videos. The number of people that viewed it.
I think that's one of the more commented on videos. I think the most popular one that I think I did that was downloaded was one we did somewhere you talked about how Tom Cruise was gonna do The Mummy.
Yes.
And how it was gonna launch in the Epic. And I think
Dark Universe.
Universe.
They were doing Dark Universe was a movie concept before it was a theme park concept.
And then I learned it was all about the name. And when I put Tom Cruise in it, I mean, you put Tom Cruise in anything, it just go blow up.
Oh, wow.
But then I think what beat that was when Deadpool and Wolverine came out. And we took a segment of all of the explanations of the Wolverine different cameos that was in there. That one, shot out the roof. I mean, maybe it's a bot. I don't know, but that's one of the. Or
maybe it's Maybelline.
Well, then I don't think she's the fairest of them all. Kevin. But that's fair. The wrestling fans are tough. They're tough.
Dwarves could have benefited from some makeup.
No kidding, and better bone structure.
Well, there's the question: is like, is Eli's Ric Flair better than the dwarves in Snow White?
Oh my god!
Oh yes, 1,000%. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yes, that's just a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah.
What Eli did.
yeah. That's all. Look,
Instead of clothes coming off, it was put on.
did y'all a favor. And YouTube is sensitive. I mean, we don't want to get shut down. You don't want to post up nothing crazy, and then they shut down, and then like all the content is killed. I think somebody else wrote in there, why don't you just take a picture and just post it up? And I was talking to y'all about that. I was like, ooh, like we've done stuff where we tried to put on things audio, right?
Well, yeah.
Well, audio, sure. That audio is a little different than the picture stuff.
So yeah, that's what
some people don't realize all the rigmarole you have to go through with your audio, with your video, just to get on YouTube.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to make sure the content is on there and everybody happy. Ain't my fault. Ric Flair won't tights. That's AI fault.
Well, no one's happy. Like you made the whole world mad.
Everybody's so angry.
Well, good. Join in my pain.
But anyway, to circle back,
Yes, sir.
TikTok listeners, thank you.
Thank you.
We
Thank
appreciate it for
Yes.
all the comments and all the stuff. That
All the
y'all
love
do.
we get. Thank you.
Keep going at it. And we are on a bunch of different social media platforms. Those just happen to be the ones that we garner the most interactivity. So if you're on any of the other ones, do the same thing. You could slide in our DM, shoot us a voicemail, shoot us a message, whatever you want to do. Well, y'all, we really enjoyed responding to y'all's communications, whether it's by text message, email, or DMs, whatever. Keep them coming, man, because we love interacting with our listeners. We always have, and so we're definitely going to get back to you. Look, if you want to learn more about us, follow us on any social media platform. Also, to get in touch with us like these listeners did, you can do so through the following ways. First of all, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or text us at 1-815-MOWEEKEND. That is 1-815-
Weekend.
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple people do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli, does things with comics. Eli, what you got?
Yeah, yes, sir. As always, appreciate the support when you go to ivorycomics.com and see everything I got. Project Geisha, Savages, and the Volley Be Damned. All work is fully colored, at least 48 pages. So the only ad for them is for this podcast. So that's more for your buck than what Big Two will give you. So there you go. I mean, you're saving money right there. Also, on the site, right, you got interviews and blogs, and of course, a link to the Magic Our Way podcast. You never miss a beat. You never miss an episode of who did what, when, why, and how. And of course, times when the lovely listeners get their props. That's some beautiful stuff. So as always, support for ivorycomics.com is awesome, and thank you for that. On social media, you can find me there, facebook.com. Eli Jiver, that's my name. Meet real
Don't wear it
people.
out.
Don't wear it out. Meet real people's my game, but not meeting bots. If you're a bot, just get on out there. I'm totally done. Like, bot reached out to me, asked me if I wanted to support some kid from Kenya that came from the Bronx. I'm like, I'm good. I am totally good. No more bots right there. Also on Facebook, you can check out the Project Geisha fan page. People have been showing the likes there, so appreciate that as well. Also on Instagram, EIV504 is where you can find me there, posting up the hearts and the likes and seeing what you guys got. So appreciate the love you're showing there. And of course, on X, you can find me at Hancock 10166. So yes, if you appreciate the madness, then you're just bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And if you have plans for any kind of vacation coming this summer, you can do it through Rachel. Book that vacation with Rachel. She could do nothing but help you. It's awesome.
This is Rachel, one of the hosts of the Magic Our Way podcast. I would be honored to help your family book your vacation to Disney destinations, Universal, cruise lines, and major hotel brands around the world. Booking with me is at no extra cost to you. The cost of a travel agent is built into the cost of your vacation, whether you use one or not. And when you book with me, a little bit of your trip comes back to support the podcast and the fan community here at Magic Our Way. You can reach me at Rachel, Rachel, at magicourway.com. Or you can find me at R, the letter R, Family Magic. So Our Family Magic on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also give me a call or a text. My phone number is 978-432-WISH. Reach out today and let's make some magic with your family vacation.
In addition, go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way, just like Gene did, to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast. Also, another option that only costs a minute or so of your time is to leave a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts and or wherever you access our show whether it is YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Podbean, etc. Any way which you can support our show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So we say Quaharini, my name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.
All right, nachos are on plates.
And you are. Bye!